Welcome to Fear No Evil. And the evil that I've been speaking about are the child sexual abuse allegations against Roy Moore, as well as the sexual abuse allegations against the women that are in our Congress. Who knows about Hollywood? They came out to begin with, and last I knew, Harvey Weinstein has no charges against him. They dropped it. When Corey Feldman came out with his allegations of child sexual abuse, they dropped the charges against the people he was talking about. So I find it very interesting that Jeff Flake endorsed the other candidate, and then on the check he wrote country over party. What really frustrates me is that we have all these people on all these high-powered positions, but they don't understand child sexual abuse. Jeff Flake is trying to convince the country that he's putting the country over the party. Jeff Flake, do you not understand in your capacity of intelligence to know that America is number 5 on the list of the most sexual abuse allegations? 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys are sexually abused before the age of 17. Does Jeff Flake not understand that 80% of sexual abuse occurs in the home? Does Jeff Flake not understand that the demographics between this child sexual abuse and workplace harassment, even just try to talk about this stuff, it's a mouthful. There are 2 demographics, but those 2 demographics can intertwine. Because sometimes when you've been sexually abused as a child, you find yourself in situations as an adult being abused. And why does this happen? Because America can't deal with abuse in any way, whether it be sexual or physical. And we know this by just looking at the research and the statistics of how many children are abused in this country every single day. And we're under the false concept that the Department of Social Services, that every state and every county has, can deal with this. However, you don't include enough sexual abuse survivors in the workplace to inform those who have not been abused what it's like. Child sexual abuse is not new. It's been here since the founding of our country. All of this is not new. We just go through ebbs and flows. So Jeff Flake, you're a flake. And the fact that you think that you are supporting the country or the party, what are you saying? That you're supporting what the liberals are saying? Because child sexual abuse isn't a Democrat or a liberal thing, or a Democrat or a conservative thing. It's an America problem. And until both sides understand that, we're going nowhere, and your political agenda is doing more damage than you could possibly know. And I hope those that have actually been sexually abused come out and speak and raise their voices above those who are speaking right now, because you're doing an injustice to those children who have no voice. There are many survivors and many children whose voices are being taken away right now. That is the hypocrisy of this whole situation. America does not understand child sexual abuse. Our churches do not understand child sexual abuse. Our institutions re-victimize people. They make it worse. And they have no clue what it really takes for a survivor to live out every day and clean up the damage that somebody else has done. Because that's what happens. We got to clean up the damage. Somebody else abuses us. We have all these manifestations. We have to clean up the damage because America has failed. The psychological community has failed. Our law has failed. Now, Jeff Flake, if you were that concerned about the child sexual abuse allegations, you would be in Congress today trying to pass a bill, putting it into legislation that deals with the statute of limitations on all of these cases. But we don't see anybody doing that. And in fact, New York State rejected a bill for that. So don't sit here, Chuck Schumer, Cuomo, trying to say that you're so concerned. Because if you were that concerned, you would have passed that law. But you didn't pass that law, did you? You rejected that law. Why did you reject that law? America really needs an education on child sexual abuse. And when you understand that, then you're going to understand rape. You're going to understand pornography. You're going to understand sexual trafficking. You're going to understand satanic ritual abuses. You're going to understand pedophiles. You're going to understand molesters. Nobody grows up to be a pedophile or a molester. There's no gene for that. It's usually what's done to them. So they're just reenacting what they have not been able to resolve for themselves. We have no clue the psychological and the physical issues that result from child sexual abuse, and they don't have to be permanent. You just need to be able to catch the abuse when it's happening, give treatment, and allow the survivor to move on. But even in the psychological community, they discourage a lot of therapy that actually helps survivors. And they just want you to be sitting in an office somewhere paying their people $100 so they can sit there and talk to you about your abuse. That doesn't work for everybody. And every sexual abuse survivor and every woman that has been sexually violated, everyone is different. Therefore, you need a whole host of different ways to heal. And most survivors find a way to heal, and they do it on their own because they don't want to be re-victimized again. And the lies and the misinformation and the silence that is coming out right now is disgusting for child sexual abuse survivors and anyone who has been violated in this country. You have information being silenced. You have stereotypes being portrayed. You have news anchors talking about something they don't even know about. America, this is your pinnacle. You're either going to deal with this issue the right way, or you're going to suffer the consequences of not dealing with it. Because victims of child sexual abuse, they're not going to keep crying over the lack of empathy and compassion. They're not going to stop crying over the fact that we need so much more research. Research that we don't even have. One of these days, America, you need to listen to those who have been sexually violated. And just because people come out with allegations, it doesn't mean the allegations are true. You can't try these things in the public arena. You got to have them in the courtroom. And until America really gets serious and does it that way, Jeff Flake, you're just being a flake. And America, you're just being hypocritical. And stop trying to divide us on this issue. Because child sexual abuse is not for just one or the other side. It is an issue that America needs to tackle. And they need to do it together.